Good morning, everyone. So last class we have completed a couple of more features of Python. So yes, what we have completed? Interpreted programming language and high level language. Okay. What is interpreted programming language? I think this is your first class. Your first class. Your first class. Yours. Okay, fine. So yeah, interpreted programming language. What does it do? Tell me the process one by one. Hmm. Who converts source code into bytecode? Python compiler. Okay. Source code to bytecode. Who converts? Python compiler. And then, hmm. Yes. So once we write the source code is nothing but what the programmer writes. Okay. That is the source code. Now, when we convert source code into bytecode, there is a term called Python compiler, which does the role. Okay. So the purpose of Python compiler is to check for syntax error, plus it also converts source code into bytecode. Once the source code being converted into bytecode, then it comes to what? PVM, Python virtual machine. Already we have seen. Then what Python virtual machine does? It converts bytecode into machine understandable code, line by line. Okay, that too line by line. Line by line means what compiler does for different language. For example, C, what compiler does? It executes or check whole program at a time. Okay, it checks whole program at a time, and whatever the, if we have 100 line of code and if we are getting 20 as a error, 20 line of code as a error, so at a time it is going to show the 20 line of code, which is quite complicated as a beginner, right? As a beginner or as a programmer also, to find out what type of error, or let's say if we find out what type of error also it is, that is also, then also it is quite difficult to find out, or it is quite complicated to find out the error, right? Whereas if I talk about the interpreted programming language, there we do not need to take care about whole process. What it does, line by line. That means even if we have 20 line of code as a error, or if it is affected with errors, right? Then also, one first it is going to show the first error, first occurrence of the error. Then once we resolve the error, then it is going to show the second error, right? And so on, it is going to follow. That means it does not give the value whole at a time or at once. Okay, it gives what? One by one, line by line it checks the error, or also line by line it executes the program, and then again it give it to whom? Operating system or processor. Okay, did you follow everyone? Yes, you and you. Did you follow the recordings? Have you seen everything? No? Yes or no? Confidently say yes or no. Where were you yesterday? Chentu Bantu? Huh? Went to home. So this is what interpreted programming language. Now, when it comes to high level programming language, what it do? We have two types of programming language, low level and high level. When it comes to low level, all the type of binary representation, octal representation and hexadecimal representation comes under low level data. Okay, so these type of data cannot be understandable by the humans or the programmers, right? To convert this type of thing, we need high level programming language. Okay, that too, other programming languages like C++ is quite a low level plus high level language. It also supports low level plus high level, or we can say middle level also it supports. Okay, but when I talk about Python, as we are in Python, so we will talk about Python itself. Okay, so even though we give any low level representation, low level data representation, it it can be able to convert that low level data into what? High level data. Yesterday we have seen couple of examples for that, right? If I represent the data like 0b, 0o or 0x, that represents what? Binary, octal and hexadecimal. So if we convert that particular value, conversion in different language, that is fine. But what it does, even if I write something, oh, it's not, you should have tell me now that the screen is not there. Totally, I forgot. Visible, right? Okay. Now, if I say something like, let's say the value a is equals to, okay, 0b 1010. Yes, whenever we are using 0b, whenever we are using 0b, that means what it represents? Binary. So we have to write here binary value. Okay, we cannot give any decimal value as it is representing. If I say something like 12, check what we are getting. Invalid digit 2 in binary literal. Okay, what is literal? What is the meaning of literal? I will tell you. Okay, just after this, we have the same concept. So for now, you try to understand that if I am representing 0b, 0b represents what? Binary here. And if you try to give any, instead of binary, if you try to give any kind of decimal value, you will get what? Error, syntax error. Who is making syntax error? And who is giving this syntax error? Python
Com-
Python
compiler.
compiler.
Understood? Okay. So here every time whenever you are using this, you have to represent the binary value. And if you print this, print it, print of A and the type of A, type also you need to check. What is the type of this? Type means the data type. Okay. Raise the hand those who belongs to non-CS background. Non-CS background. Non-CS in the sense non-technical background. Okay, Pujita is there, Haripriya is there. From here, everyone belongs to MCA and BTech. CS. Everyone? Any electrical background people? Okay, great. So type. There also for people those who don't know this type of thing, for them I'll tell you. Type is nothing but it shows the data type. Now what is the meaning of data type here? Any number, any value, any character has its own data type. Whatever we represent, whatever we give it to the compiler, it has specific data or the type of the data we can say, right? So for example, if I'm providing name, name has what? Characters. Name has
String.
characters. So it represents what? String. Okay. Similarly, if I provide phone number, it is a pure numbers. That means it is an
Integer.
integer value. Yeah. When I provide height, height could
Float.
be in point value, floating point value. It is what? Float value. Understood? When I provide a boolean value, it is what? True or false. That means whether it is true or false. Only two value could be there. Understood? Similarly, if I provide multiple values, so we call it as collection data. Okay, it could be our list, tuple, dictionary, set, frozen set, anything, range. Okay, so we will see when it comes to data types, we will see what are the data types we have. Okay, for now you need to understand this. Now what value we will get here, as already we have represented it in binary value, and after conversion a is going to store what data? Yesterday I have told you about this. Once
Decimal
we
data.
convert this decimal data, it is going to store what? Decimal data. So what we are getting here? Integer. All the integer data are known as what? Decimal here. Understood? So 170 is a decimal value, or integer data belongs to an integer class. Okay, understood, right? Next, okay, let's talk about now. So high level data is what? Even though if we give any kind of low level representation, it is able to convert low level data into high level data. Clear? Okay, right. Next, I will start with the seventh one. Okay, we call it as robust. Python is one of the robust language. Okay, robust language. We also call it as strong language. Understood? So what this robust is? Okay, let me give you a scenario. Python is known as a robust language. Okay, it is a robust language. But why? Robust means strong. Okay, why it is a strong language? Python can achieve a concept called exception handling. Exception handling. What is exception handling? What is exception handling? Do you know what is exception handling? Do you know what is exception first of all? Handling is okay, fine. What is exception? All belongs to CS. Still no answer. Yes, Chantu Bantu. No idea. No idea.
Sir, errors checking, sir.
Sorry.
Errors solve.
Errors. Okay.
Errors solve automatically.
Okay. Good. So basically, robust, when we call a Python is a robust language, because Python achieves a, or we can say Python is having a concept called exception handling, which makes our programming application or application a robust application, a strong application, right? Why? Because see, if even though, for example, let's suppose you are making a application, you are making a application, right? And here you are giving some attributes you are giving. For example, you are giving name. The user has to enter the name. Okay, you are giving age, you are giving gender. Okay, you are giving gender, you are giving some kind of password as well. Password. Okay, name, you are saying what type of data it should be?
String.
String data. Name
String.
should age should be integer
Int.
data. Gender should be again string data.
String.
String.
And password also could be string data, because it is also consist of characters plus numbers. Okay, so this type of thing you have provided. But there are some crazy people out there. Okay, crazy people, what they do, instead of writing name, what they will do, okay, if they give 1 2 3, that is also fine, because 1 2 3 are also a character. Forget about it. I will go for, instead of this, I will go for, okay, let's say name, the person name is giving is something like Ravi. Okay, Ravi. And age, in place of age, what should you give? Numbers. Okay, he is giving something like male. And password is giving something like 123 ABC. Okay, for example, I'm saying, so this represents the male age, and this represents gender, this represents password. Don't you think that rather than using integer value, he is using what? Okay, string value. That means will it take a string value here? Because it follows what? Integer, and the person has given string value. Here it is going to give what? Type error. What it is going to give? Type error, because the type what it is following, you are giving what? Check it. Okay, check it here. You have something like, let's say, do not ask what these are, I will tell you each and everything later on. Int of input of something like this, enter the value, or enter your name, enter your name. Okay, let me change it as name. Name is equals to, sorry, not, okay, okay, fine, fine, age. Okay, age. So enter your age, right? Now it is asking enter your age, waiting for the answer, waiting for the input. So if I say something like male, what we are getting? Value error. Sorry, not type error, value error it is. Okay, type error is different. Value error. Why value error we are getting? Invalid literal for integer with base 10. Base 10 is nothing but it follows decimal values. Base 10 is nothing but decimal. Decimal base is what? 10. Always remember, decimal base would be 10, binary base would be 2, octal base would be 8. Okay, hexadecimal base 16.
16.
Understood? That's why decimal base is what? 10 here. Clear? Okay, so we are getting value error here. So whose mistake it is it a programmer mistake or a user mistake? Because user is entering wrong. Yes. Okay, when it is entering wrong while using the application, are you able to understand? See, this application, for example, let's say it is a ABC application, ABC app. Okay, this ABC app already has been created somewhere. This ABC app already someone has created. Now the user, XYZ user are using it, XYZ user are using it. Now what they are going to do? They are going to insert the value, what the value or attribute has been given. Now if the user is making mistake, it is not the mistake of programmer, because programmer what he has feed it to the application, that is all correct. Okay, but the user, what user is giving, that is quite, I would say, it is giving a wrong input here. So whose mistake it is? It is a user mistake. It is a user mistake. Am I clear? Right? It is a user mistake. Now, think what you have to understand here. Okay, let me change it. It is a value error. So, think what you have to understand here is, once you get the error, okay, this is a programmer responsibility to make the user understand that you are making a mistake here. So for each and every user, we cannot go personally and say that you have done the mistake. Is it so? No, you should not do this, right? Because you are a programmer. Okay, you are not a salesperson. Huh? Right? So you are, as a programmer, there only in your application itself, you have to feed it, or you have to show the particular message so that user can understand it properly where you are making a mistake. Understood? Now tell me one thing. As a user, think about that you guys are a user. Okay, you don't know anything about the programming language. Okay, this is your first time and you are getting a error like this. Will you be able to understand it? Will you be able to understand this? Why? Because you are not a programmer and this is a technical message. Understood? This is what? A technical message, and technical message cannot be understandable by users. Somehow you will understand what is value error. that in a value you are making a error. But what about this? Will you able to understand this? At first instance, will you be able to understand this? No. Now, this is a programmer responsibility to convert these type of error which is not being understandable by the program user. This is a programmer responsibility to convert this error message, or we can say technical error message, into user understandable message. User understandable message. Am I clear? Okay. For this concept, we use what? Exception handling. Exception is nothing but runtime error. Exception is what? Runtime error. Actually, I should not explain you these things in initial days, because exception and handling itself, it is a vast topic. But I am explaining you why to use exception handling and why Python is known as a robust language here. Python is known as a robust language because of the concept called exception handling. What is exception handling? Handling of runtime error. What is runtime error? Which occurs during program execution. What is program execution? While running the application. While running the application, user is entering a wrong input. So what we are getting? Value error. This error is known as what? Runtime error. Or we can also call it as exception. To handle this type of exception, we use concept called exception handling. Is it clear? Everything is clear? Okay, online.
Sir, how can I handle exception handling? How can I handle?
Is this Shankar?
Yes, sir.
Shankar, just now I have told you this is a vast topic. We are
Okay.
in initial days. Okay, so if I explain you now, you won't be able to understand it. Okay, because we need to go bit by bit. Okay, if I go directly, if I jump into exception handling or oops concept, you won't be able to understand it. Okay, just now I have explained you why Python is known as why Python is known as robust language, and what makes a Python one of the robust language. So that the concept is known as exception handling. So you need to understand, Shankar, that
Okay.
whatever we are seeing just for the reference here. Okay, because in
Okay.
features also we have oops concept. In features also we have robust language. That is what makes robust exception handling. If I start teaching you what is oops concept, what is exception handling here itself, obviously you will get confused. Okay, before learning what are the alphabets you have in English, directly if you jump to the advanced English concepts, will you be able to understand? No.
Sir,
Are, is it clear?
clear. Yes, sir.
So I will explain you. No need to worry about this. Okay, let the time come first. Then I will explain you each and everything about the exception handling. It is going to take 1 week to complete exception handling. So if I complete in one day, you will throw some stones to me. Yes or no? Will you throw
Yes,
or not?
sir.
No?
Yes.
I don't have a stone now, sir. I will get it and I will throw. Okay. So, Shankar, is it fine?
Okay, sir. Fine, fine.
Uh, yeah. So, robust language. Okay. Python is a robust language, right? Everyone, pick your pen, pick your notebook, and write down whatever the topic or whatever the keywords I'm missing writing here. Okay. Because I have already told you about this. Understood? Write down. So whatever, at least you write down in your notebook, write down the keywords or the main point. What, even though I'm writing here, you note it down somewhere, so that later on you can remember it or revise it by seeing the note. Okay. Acha, one more thing, did I share yesterday's note? Sir, we have been busy with something, So we did not check. Yesterday it was Gandhi Jayanti, sir. So how can we check? Huh? Already, sir, it was a dry day, and you are asking about these things, boys. Huh? Okay, let's go for it. Python is considered as, just recorrect it whenever if I make any mistake, okay, because I'm writing it. Okay, sometimes I also make mistake because I am also human. Okay, I can also make mistake, right? So Python is considered as a robust programming language, okay, because it offers the concept of exception exception handling. Okay, because it offers what? Concept of exception handling. Let's talk about what is exception first. What is exception?
Time error.
You write every runtime error runtime error or errors you say are known as known known as sorry, exception. Okay, every runtime error are known as exception. In other words, the error which occurs which occurs during runtime during runtime, okay, is known as exception. Am I clear? Okay, let's talk about what is exception handling now. Okay, let me give like this so that you can understand it properly. Huh. The process of converting technical error messages to user understandable messages, okay, are known as are known as exception handling. Okay, what it does, handles the exception. Okay, handles the exception, that means, okay, the process of converting technical error message to into, or you write into, user friendly, user understandable error error messages are known as exception handling. Am I clear? Okay, basically what we are doing, handling the runtime error. Okay, handling the runtime error. For example, you take a instance. Okay, let's say in an ATM, if a user in an ATM, if a user is inserting wrong ATM pin, wrong ATM pin, that is also one reference. Okay, any other? Inserting card, inserting card incorrectly, right? When you insert the card incorrectly also, it shows the error message. Please enter card properly. Yes? Okay. So this type of thing you can consider. Anything more? Inserting, inserting string value, string value, values rather than, or instead of, I would say, instead of, instead of integer value, integer value. Okay, what error we get? We get value error. Okay, this type of example I have taken. Is it clear? Okay. Yes, one more thing I forgot to write here. As a robust language, Python follows what, or offers what? Exception handling process. Okay, exception handling. But when I talk about the exception, exception is what? Runtime. Runtime error we say. Okay, exception is what? Runtime error. But there are couple of more errors along with runtime error that we need to understand here. In Python programming, in Python programming, or in any programming language, in programming languages, we get, we or we may face, okay, three types of errors. Okay, first we call it as runtime error, or we call it as first compile time error. Compile time error. What is compile time error? The error occurs during compilation. Okay, yesterday only we have seen, when we get syntax error, that means it is given by
Turn compiler.
compiler, Python compiler. Okay, second is what?
Syntax
Okay,
error.
second I will go for logical. No, syntax error comes in compilation process itself. Okay, logical error. Okay, what is logical error? Uh-huh. When we provide wrong logic. Okay, okay, I will explain you when it comes to exception handling. Each and everything I will explain you in detail. For now you understand these things. Okay, and the third is what we call it as runtime error. Okay, so I would say this as what? Compile time error due to, due to wrong syntax. Okay, this logical error because of, due to wrong logic, or incorrect logic, I would say incorrect logic. And this occurs because of, due to wrong or incorrect user input. Understood? Am I clear, or something else should I explain? Clear? Okay. Seventh we have completed. Any question online, guys? Shankar and Pujita, Purnima, Swapna, and so many we have. Hmm. Any question? Okay. Eighth we have, it supports both. I would go for first here I need to change this, because it is not only object oriented programming language, supports both procedural and object oriented programming. Okay, so I will just copy from this. Okay, let me write something like this one. So, both procedural and object oriented programming principle. For now, you just write like this: Python supports both functional, I would use the word called functional oriented, and object oriented, object oriented principles. Principles. Okay, that means it can follow functional oriented programming also, it can follow object oriented programming also. Understood? So what does it mean actually? What is function, what is object, what is object oriented principle? If I explain you now, again you will get confused, so I'm not going to explain you what is functional oriented. Just think about it. What is function? Function is nothing but a set of program. Okay, or we can also call it as, it is a main program, sub program of the main program. And the purpose of function is nothing but to achieve the code reusability. What is code reusability? Reuse again and again. Okay, reuse of anything. For example, your mobile phone. Okay, your mobile phone, how many time you have bought your mobile phone? How many time? One mobile phone, how many time you are going to buy? Only one time. But how many time you are using it? A number of time. In your bed, while eating, while playing, while whatever you do, you will be with your mobile phone, right? That means whole day, 24 hours, you will be with your phone. So I should not consider this example, right? Because reusing is different thing, and using continuously is different thing, right? So you are consistent with your phone. Okay, just a small, I'm just kidding. Okay. So functional oriented is what? To reuse anything. Okay, to reuse anything, we call it as function. The purpose of function is nothing but to reuse the code. Okay, reuse the code. Just now I have given one example. This chair has been created only one, but how many times we are using it? Several times. This is also a function. Okay, this remote, how many times it has been created? Only one time, but how many times we are using? Several times. Understood? This is the meaning of function. Okay, the purpose of it. And the object oriented programming language has two things. Okay, see, function follows the structure, follows the structure and provide provide code reusability. Okay, it provides what? Code reusability. Whereas object oriented, I will write OOP. Okay, object oriented principle, what it does, it has two concepts: class and object. Two main concepts here: class and object. When I talk about class, leave about the class, leave about the object, and leave everything about the object oriented programming, because I don't want to make any mess here. Okay, just go with the flow. What we see here, function, it is just follow the structure and provide the code reusability. Object oriented, we have class and object, the major concept here what we have. Anyway, if I talk about different concept in object oriented principles, we have class, object, then encapsulation, abstraction, inheritance, polymorphism, message passing. These many things we have. So I cannot complete in 20 minutes, right? So better to leave it here. When it comes to object oriented programming language, there itself I will explain you each and everything. Understood? Am I clear? Okay. Next is extensible. Ninth one is extensible. Okay, write it. It offers its programming features, I would say, features to other programming languages. Okay, making it one of the extensible. I'll explain you what it is. Okay, extensible programming language. Now let me give you a scenario for this. First you read it properly. It offers its programming features. Who? Python. Okay, it offers its programming features to other programming languages, making it one of the extensible programming language. Okay, see, everyone knows YouTube. Okay, obviously we use daily, sir. Their short is there, so daily we watch shorts, right? So everyone knows YouTube. Okay, YouTube uses 60%. uh, it may vary also, I'm not so sure about it. Okay, but you have to search it somewhere. Almost 50% of its code as C programming. Now I don't know what it is using. Okay, if you want you can search and get the intuition. Okay, so YouTube is using, for an example you consider. Okay, do not get offended, sir. No, 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 it is only using 30%, you are saying 50%. Okay, it is not like that. So you can go and search in Google what percentage of programming language YouTube uses. Okay, understand, 50% of programming language is what? C programming language. Okay, why? Because C programming has the feature of pointer, and which makes a programming language bit faster in execution, faster in execution. Am I clear? So C programming has the feature called pointer, which makes the programming language faster while executing it. Okay, that's why they are using 50% of programming as C programming language. Now I don't know, let's search it itself. Okay, let's see how many programming languages: C, C++, Go, and Java. So let's talk about this. C, YouTube. Okay, if you check here, front end it is using what? JavaScript, TypeScript. For back end it is using Python. Okay, back end it is server, Python, C++, Java, and Go. Okay, so this better we will search somewhere the same question to chat GPT. Okay, YouTube backend infrastructure utilizes a mix of programming language, each tailored for specific roles. So it is not properly giving. No specific percentage it is breakdown. Okay. So basically, what are the language they are using? Java, Python, C, C++, Go, and JavaScript. Now you need to understand it. This percentage may vary also. Okay, do not just keep as it is. So this, what I'm trying to say here, 50% of YouTube is using what? C programming language. Why? Because of faster execution, and C programming has the pointer. Okay, now 40%, almost 30 to 40%, you can say 30 to 40% it is using Python, and rest of the 20, 10 to 20%, you can say 10 to 20%, it is using other programming languages, other programming. Okay, why I have shown you this? As people know that 50% of, if they are using 50% of C programming while creating a YouTube, that means while executing it is going to be fast. Okay, it is going to be faster while executing or while running. Executing means what? Running the application. So initial days, you have noticed, you might have noticed, like there were more buffering issue while using the C programming. There were more buffering issue that they have made, or they have introduced Python plus C programming, which reduce the buffering issue over there. Okay, and so many things, so many disadvantages were there, or so many I would say drawbacks were there in YouTube also. Every nowadays also every program or every application has at least one or two drawbacks which they are working on it. Keeps on updating, keeps on working. Updating means what? Releasing new things and updating the old features, right? There also, now you need to understand it. C programming is being used 50% in YouTube, 30 to 40% they were using Python, and rest of the code being used as a other programming language. Understood why I have told this? Now again you go for it, again you read this particular thing. It offers its programming features to other programming languages, making it one of the extensible programming language. That means it offers its programming features. Programming features, what are the programming features? Just now whatever the thing we have seen, the features we have seen, how many features we have seen? Okay, out of these 8 features, more couple of this features are left, right? So I will tell you all this. So after including all this, you think about it. Don't you think that Python is kind of a great language nowadays to be used in different fields? Because it has a concept called module, packages, okay, and it is both oops and functional oriented. That makes, again it makes a Python programming language more efficient, right? It has module concept which make less coding and more efficient. Yes, it makes the programming language less coding and more efficient. That means Python has something, that's why they are using in YouTube. Java has something, that's why they are using in YouTube. Golang is having something, that's why they are using in YouTube. That means what? Python is providing its own facilities or features, like it has module, it has both functional and object oriented programming. It is kind of also following the regular expression. It has multi-threading concept. It has a ability to work with file concept, and implicitly it can work with our database as well. So many facilities it has, so many features it has, Python. And when we have these many features, why don't we go for Python? Why don't we use Java also having some features? Go is also having some features. So if they all mix up all these things and make a application like this, don't you think the programming language is the major thing here? Programming languages are the major here. It is not the YouTube. It is the programming language which makes the YouTube more efficient while using it. That means while running the YouTube, programming makes it faster. And for YouTube, databases are there to collect the data, to retrieve the data. Maybe they are using Python, Java to create it more vast, or to store, or to make more quite good application. They are using Python's module concept. Anything could be possible, right? So that's what Python is providing its facility to other programming languages like C programming, like Java programming, like Golang, okay, to reuse the concept of Python. Understood? Am I clear with this? That's why what it is saying that it provides its features to other programming languages. Understood? Okay, and which makes our application more effective and efficient. Understood? Okay, and there the vice versa, you can say it as vice versa. Embedded, there is one more thing called embedded. Now this embedded is nothing but you can use other code of other programming language in Python as well. Okay, other programming code of different languages like C, C++, Java, whatever you say, in your Python programming. That happens in real time applications. Okay, so you can use like this. That's why we call it as embedded programming language. You can mix up. Embedded means what? Mixing something, right? Or merging something. So basically what you are doing, you are merging different programming language with what? Python programming. Okay, that's why we are calling it as what? Okay, Python can speed up speed up things, okay, by calling the code, or the codes from different programming languages. Okay, for example, you can say, for example, we can call c programming code, uh, okay, to Python, or with Python, or no, to Python programming, okay, to Python programming for faster execution. Am I clear with this? Okay, so you can use this particular thing as well. Last, quickly we will complete it, and we are winding up the features concept here. Okay, last is the 11th one, we call it as, sorry, 10th one. Okay, this would be 10 and this would be 11. Supports third party third party libraries. Okay, third party libraries. What is third party libraries? Third party module, we can say. Okay, already we have seen modules, right? How to use modules already we have seen, but there also it is a vast topic. I will explain you in detail about the module concept. Okay, just I have given you the example. Understood? So write down. Okay, to boost up the efficiency of traditional Python projects. Okay, Python projects. we uh, we use or we rely on the third party libraries or modules, we can call it as modules. Okay, module tools. Okay, like like pandas. Okay, numpy, matplotlib. Okay, seaborn, and sklearn, you can say. Okay, scikit-learn also we call it as, and so many we have. Okay, it is C. Okay, and can be installed using pip tool. Okay, pip tool. Understood? What is pip tool here? Python package installer it is. Okay, Python package installer. With the help of this pip tool we can install the Python package. Okay, when it comes to module concept I will explain you how to use it. Clear? Okay, so here we have completed the features of Python, everything. Do you have any doubt? Online, offline? Do you have any question? No? So shall we stop it here? Yes, one more last thing, that tomorrow it is going to be the last class. Okay. So those who haven't enrolled yet, please enroll yourself. Okay, and go smoothly. Do not miss any class and do not try to fall behind. Understood? Okay. And those who are new to this, you can follow the recordings. You have they are going to provide you the recordings as well. Okay, and apart from recordings you will be provided by the notes, so you can follow the notes as well. And even I am also providing you the notes. Please do join your Google Classroom. Okay, every day I'll be giving you the notes in Google Classroom itself. Okay, so you need to join Google Classroom for everyone. It is for everyone, core and advanced plus full stack. Those who are doing core and advanced, it is not going to be only for the Python is Python, it is not a core and advanced. Okay, so whatever we see for full stack people, you are also going to see the same thing. Okay, so it is not like for core is different and full stack is different. Understood? Up to some extent, that is the networking. Okay, up to networking we will be together, whoever. So it is whether it is core and advanced people or full stack people. Next, HTML CSS, when it starts, then we will let you know, and you can join the HTML CSS. Okay, you guys have joined, right? Okay, fine. Okay, thank you so much guys, so see you tomorrow. Have a great day. So please do join, and tomorrow would be the last day. Okay, thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye bye. Take care.